Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, and today I am being joined by a gentleman from our neighboring community here, just south of us, a great little area, little town called Pine Mountain, Hamilton, Georgia, Warm Springs, and all of the above. I am being joined today by DeBron Walker, who is the owner of Green Mind Grower. DeBron, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to have you.
It's a pleasure to have you. You know, it's always good to have great guests to come on the show.
Yeah.
It's got interesting topics to talk about, and you have a lot of great things that we want to try to compact into a 12-minute interview. A 12-minute interview.
Yes, sir.
But DeBron, before, and I just got to say this.
Yes, sir.
LeBron.
Oh my God!
You got the basketball skills like LeBron.
You know what? No, sir.
Right, no,
I'm missing 12,
I got
13.
you. I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
I know my lane.
I got you. All right. Well, let's get in your lane and let's talk a little bit.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. My name's DeBron Walker, owner of Green Mind Growers. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. I have a lot of family from Troup County, LaGrange. My great-grandmother was born and raised here by way of Roanoke, Alabama.
Okay.
My family resides in Meriwether County right now.
Okay.
We've been there about 8 years.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
And you guys, the Eleanor Roosevelt
Yes, sir.
School in Warm Springs.
Yes, sir. The last Rosenwald School. Yes, sir.
Yes. Talk about that if you don't mind.
Wow. Okay, I'll make this brief. So there's a gentleman named Julius Rosenwald. He was the founder of Sears and Roebuck.
Right.
He partnered with Booker T. Washington, and they came together and created a fund and built 5,300 schools between 1912 and 1936. In 1937, President FDR opened the fund back up to build one more school, that school being the Eleanor Roosevelt School in Warm Springs, which we own.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
The Rosenwald School. So that's a whole nother story.
It's a
That's why
whole
I said
nother story.
a whole nother story
Yes,
within
sir.
itself. And I would love to reserve the right to have you come back on.
I would love to.
And talk about that, because I know that you guys are doing some things there because it is a historical landmark.
It is.
And I know that you guys are in a campaign to try to restore that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're partnered with the Georgia Trust of Historic Preservation. Right now, we're on track to raise $1.3 million to restore the school. And in doing that, we've got the Little White House, you've got Roosevelt Institute, you've got the hatchery. We want to focus on tourism, and our segment being educational tourism, teaching traditional agriculture, storytelling, and expanding on what we're talking about, which is the legacy of Julius Rosenwald, Booker T. Washington, and the Roosevelts.
Very
sure.
good. You know, I have a friend to say that a Booker T could do more with a peanut than a monkey could do with it.
Oh my God.
Because when you think about all the amazing things that he did with just that one product.
Yes, sir.
It's just, it blows your mind.
Yes, sir.
It
Yes,
blows
sir.
your mind. But again, that's the topic for another story.
We'll get to that.
We will get to that one.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk a little bit about Green Mind Growers.
Yes.
Tell me, what is Green Mind?
So Green Mind Growers, the concept is something we started in 2014.
Okay.
And it's similar to gold mining, where the value is under your feet. You're able to grow your value wherever you are, and the soil is so rich, literally, pun intended, that there's value everywhere that you want to put seeds in the ground and grow them. We started in the school system. We started teaching modern farming, actually, with aquaponics. And from there, we ran a lot of workshops. The kids really loved it. Ran a lot of pilot programs. We put together a curriculum which hit every Georgia standard that it needed to hit. And from there, Green Mind just took off. And we've done volunteer community projects. We've done projects with city governments from Meriwether County to DeKalb County. So we've been all over the state. Yes, sir.
Wow. To get the kids excited about, talk about that if you don't mind, LeBron, because you think about, I was raised on a farm.
Oh, okay.
So I know there's a lot of work that goes in farming.
Yes, yes.
Talk about how do you keep the kids excited about this?
So the way that we originally sold it to a lot of the schools is it's an in-school field trip. You know, sometimes you just need a break to stretch your legs. And so to create a greenhouse and have an aquaponic system, which is really fish farming and hydroponics combined together, and the nutrients from the fish actually stimulate the growth. So it's not as much hard work as you would think with traditional, which is what we're doing with Pat's Garden. But the kids love it because they get to see the fish grow. We use koi, goldfish, which can get up to be, 36 inches, the koi can. So the kids love that part, and to just see that they did it and to give them, little jobs. Okay, you're gonna manage the nitrates. You're going to actually you're going to watch and see how the water and the soil is going to change. We gave each one of them jobs, and the kids, their imagination, they just took it and made it their own. So
great.
Yeah, and I fell in love with that too. So, yeah.
I picked up from that interactive learning.
Yes,
they're learning, but they're also having fun while they're doing it,
and they don't even know it.
Don't even know it.
No, sir.
Because so many times kids get talked to all the time. But our kids, I like to say, I'm a kinesthetic visual learner.
Yep.
When I see it, I do it, I got it. And now our kids are so hands-on kinesthetic with everything they do, from the cell phones to video games. So you're making learning fun.
Absolutely. We actually, to expand on that, we created a project called the John Henry Project, which we will house at the Eleanor Roosevelt School when we open, which is two parts of that conversation. It's traditional agriculture, modern agriculture, and teaching kids the benefit of both. Modern agriculture is a tool. We can use it as that. It's not as hard as it used to be. But to understand, is to your point, being able to touch the soil, use your hands, that works a different part of the brain. And some kids actually relate to that a lot more. I know our grandparents did.
Right.
And, in that, the John Henry Project is something that we want to offer to the entire state, actually.
Okay.
As far as on the digital side of things, we have a curriculum that's ready if anyone's interested. And that has actually brought us to LaGrange to work with the Calumet Community Association.
Very good.
Yes, sir. Just on the traditional side, though.
As you were sitting and talking, you just talked yourself into 2 more shows, whether you knew it or not.
Oh, man.
But that's all good. That's all good.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk now, because you are here in LaGrange. You're working with a community here in our segment of our community.
Yes.
To bring your Green Grower project here.
Yes.
Leona Jones, I call her
awesome.
Lee.
Lee's awesome.
We call her Lee.
Yes, sir.
Talk about your involvement here, and she's going to come on and talk about Pat's Garden. So talk about your involvement here.
Yeah, so absolutely. So they reached out to us last year, year one, and we started on Addis Street. It wasn't a large garden, but it was very successful. We had a couple of raised beds, very beautiful sign, has Pat's Garden in honor of Pat, and I'll let them kind of expand on that.
Right.
But we started last year. We started with sage. We had basil, tomatoes growing everywhere. And, I told my team and I told Lee, we made Dr. Tucker smile, so I'm happy. I think it was a success. And we've moved to Hines Street, and we're going to go with some 40 by 8 in-ground beds, which will give everybody the opportunity to get involved, and everybody can get in the soil. We can work it up. It's still at the beginning stages, but even in doing that, I think it's going to be even better, and hopefully we'll be harvesting in June. So
very good.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now let me ask you: will you bring some of your nitrates and things from the area?
It's already in the soil.
It's already in the soil.
It's already in the soil, which is probably another segment. I don't want to open that
That's
up.
okay. Keep talking.
But what you need is already in the soil.
Okay.
A lot of times what you want to do is you want to add cover. You may want to add things like, earthworms, red wiggler worms, because their castings help activate the soil. In some cases, we actually use fish fertilizer from an aquaponics system. You can actually put that in the soil, and it just activates the beds. And we break them up into rows, 12 inches, going 40 feet. As long as you have enough soil there for that particular seed to become what's the word I'm looking for? It becomes a radical, and then it sprouts. You're able to harvest that after a while. So, yeah, yes, sir.
Awesome. So sage, basils, and various other.
And tomatoes. We had Rutger tomatoes. They were this big, y'all. They were this big. I made Dr. Tucker smile. Wherever he is, I made him smile, and I got the pictures. Okay. And he was holding them like this. But we probably go with Rutger tomatoes again this year.
Rutger tomatoes.
Rutger tomatoes.
Okay.
Yeah. A little bit larger than the hybrids.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And maybe some opal basil, which is a purple basil. Tastes really good. When you put those together, you make a great spaghetti sauce. So just things like that. And I guess to kind of wrap that up, we just want to be support, and I help in any way I can, because I'm right down the road in Warm Springs. So
okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. I'm going to get Lee to come on here pretty soon. And then I also know that there's another guest that I'm having here,
Absolutely,
and Daniel, that will come on and talk a little bit about
Yes.
fundraising, how the community can get involved.
Yes.
But it's such a pleasure to sit down and talk with you about all the various things that you got going on.
Absolutely.
And I see an opportunity for there's some connections, some things that I'm working with too.
Yes.
That there may be an opportunity for some
Love to talk
collaboration.
to you. Yes.
Definitely. So let me ask you,
Yes.
your Green Mind Growers is located there in Warm Springs.
Yes, we'll be based out of the Eleanor Roosevelt School.
Out of the school.
Once we restore the
Once
site.
you get it restored there.
Yes, sir.
So right now, in the meantime, you guys are just going to be
I can do
planted
this.
here, right here in the community.
Yes.
So if somebody wanted to come out and maybe assist with what you guys are doing,
Yes. Yes.
there's always an opportunity for volunteerism.
Always.
Okay.
Always. Come on, y'all. You can get in touch with Lanola Jones.
Okay.
Through the Calumet Association,
Okay.
and we can set that up. Yes.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, DeBron, I'm going to tell you, it's been a pleasure, and I definitely want to have you back on
Yes.
to talk a little bit more. I heard the Rosenwald School, definitely,
sir.
and the John Henry Project.
That's it.
That's another one that and then also to talk more about the Green Mind Growers as well.
I would love to, and if anyone wants to get behind our project, we're in the process of fundraising as well with the Georgia Trust, as we talked about. You can go to EllenoreSchool.org.
Okay.
And we have a secondary site, which is where my team is, and kind of gives you an idea of what we've been doing the last couple of years. You can go to www.erso1936.com.
ERSO. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 1936.com.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good.
Man, thank you.
Well, thank you, DeBron, for being my guest today, and I look forward to what's going to take place there in the garden and
I'm
how
excited.
the people are going to benefit from.
Yes.
And it's for a very worthy cause.
I believe so.
And we're going to have Lee to come on and talk about that in
Yes.
just a moment. So,
Yeah.
again, thank you for being my
Thank
guest
you,
today.
man.
All right.
Everybody loves some food. So.
That's for you. And then I heard you talking about spaghetti, and I'm like,
Oh, man, I shouldn't have said that.
that's another topic. But anyway,
Yes,
thank you
sir.
once again.
Thank you again.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more Sweet Week coming up in just a moment.